you love to play. Oh, you love to play. Don't your comments won't relay. Sign this on my page for you. Oh my God, he changed. Young life, I can't see back karma. I just need some brains so I could keep myself in order.
He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for another story time. This story time takes place when my mom was sick and she had already moved up to the state, to a different state with my sister, basically. And the house, we were trying to still keep the house like in the family or whatever, so I didn't have to pay rent, so to speak. All I had to pay was lights, right? So before I moved in back into my mom's house, I had moved to, we had left the city that we are in now and went back home because, as I told y'all, oh well, maybe I didn't. Um, I said in one vlog, excuse me, that Tyler was very imperative when it came down to my mom being sick. And I told y'all, like, Tyler was her boy. Like, she was very, very overprotective of Tyler. So this one particular situation, she had, I was up in the city to where we were, and she had, because remember, I slept in my car to finish school, so Tyler was with her. So this one particular situation, she basically, Tyler went to his teacher and asked for help because he was said there was things going on at home. Basically, he was asking his teacher like to pray for me. And so the teacher reached out to Nia because she knew, like, me and Nia were really close. So Nia called me and was like, hey, Tyler is telling his teacher certain things, like, hey, just pray for me, and certain things is going on at home, so you might want to come down. And so when I came down to find out like what was going on, like the night before, she had told Tyler like to get out and to never come back. And at this time, Tyler might have been 6 or 7 when she told him to get out and never come back. But that prompted us to know like something was wrong, because that wasn't my mom, that wasn't her. And so I came down like to get Tyler's stuff and to, to pack Tyler up, and it literally was like that was her energy towards him, because we pulled up, like I picked him up from school, we pulled up and he ran in the house before me, and he got to the top of the stairs and she was like, I thought I told you not to ever come back here. And she didn't see me. So when she came like closer to the stairs where he was standing and she saw me, she kind of changed her demeanor. And so I was like, we're coming to get his stuff. So yeah, like it was imperative to, like, for me to know, like, she's sick, something's wrong, something's really off. And so kind of moving forward, like, I already got her diagnosis, I already went through all the doctor's appointments, I already went through all the paperwork, making sure like she's getting her retirement when it comes down to her job. So in all of that, I moved, like, we left. Yeah, we left because it was a fight. Maybe I should have told this in order. I guess I might have to switch it up and maybe tell it in order. Hold on. There was a fight. Anyway, I'm not telling them in order. There was a fight. So there were quite a few fights, but we had moved to a house that Wildin' Out owned, and we were staying there. And so I was paying, like, she wasn't asking me for rent. She was just asking me to, like, help out with water or help out with lights, right? And so I think I told that story already of how, maybe I didn't. But anyway, we were staying there. But once my sister came up with the proposition, like, for me to move into my mom's house, because my mom had decided that she wanted to go live with her. And I was letting her know, I was like, being a full-time caregiver is not an easy job. Your life revolves around the patient, especially a dementia Alzheimer's patient. Your life revolves around that patient. You don't have a life. You don't exist anymore. As they tell you, like with kids, once you have a child, like, your life comes secondary to the child. Like, the child comes first, you're secondary. With the dementia patient, you're almost non-existent. I did it for a few months, quite a few months, getting her paperwork, getting stuff together. You're non-existent. It's a 24-hour situation, because especially in the beginning, they are constantly moving. You have to constantly keep your eyes on them. It's literally like a baby, like a child, like a toddler. And so I told her, I was like, this is not an easy task. And then you're moving her in with your family, because my sister is married. So it's a whole different ballgame. With me, it was just me and Ty. You are married and you have children. So that's a different dynamic. Anyway, so she hit me up with the proposition. She was like, hey, you don't have to pay anything. But we just don't want the house, like, to go bad or whatever. Like, we don't want the house to, like, just sit there. Because literally, when you're not in a house, that's when your house runs down. Like, when you're constantly in there, it's fine. But when you're not there, that's when it constantly runs down, right? So she came with the proposition. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I was like, that works even better, because where Wildin' Out was, her house, we were way far, like, in the country, past kind of in the same area where my grandmother's grave is. So we were way out in the country. But where my mom lived, we were closer to in-town things than you can get to. And, well, people didn't mind coming. Well, I had a homie who didn't mind coming to pick me up, which kind of worked out because he was going through some things at the time. But being at my mom's house, it was closer and it was less gas, and it was more beneficial for the both of us. So anyway, because I didn't have a car at the time. But anyway, so she was like, if you want to, you can. You don't have to pay rent or anything. You just have to pay, like, lights and, of course, your water and your gas, because you're using it. We're not there, but you don't have to pay rent. And I was like, oh, okay, perfect. Like, that worked. That was perfect. And I was like, and then, I can be, like, in my own room, in my own space, like, and Ty can be in the room that he was staying in before. And so we moved in. My homeboy helped me move in, and it was funny because we were moving in. Like, I was moving so fast. Was it this time? I think it was this time. I was moving so fast and moving Ty stuff in his room. Like, the door moved by itself, and when I turned around to walk out of the room, I walked straight into the door. And me and my homeboy busted out laughing. He was like, "You need to take a break." He was like, "You need to take a break," and I was like, "Nah, nah, I'm good. I'm good." Nah, I'm good. Let's keep maneuvering, because we were excited, me and Ty, especially to be closer back into town, and also to be, like, in the house. Like, even though, like, the house causes me trauma, it was easier. Like, it was easier for Ty, like, to get to school, or easier for me to catch a ride. Like I said, easier for my homeboy to come pick me up. So, and then it was like, it was home. It was home. So anyway, I think we had been there. Excuse me, sorry y'all. My allergies be beating my. We had been there, I think maybe a week. I think we had been there like a week. So the stuff that was in there already, like the stuff that was in the house, I kind of just push to the side. And I'm the type of person where I like to have my own stuff because I know ninjas. I know how they do. Like, for whatever, black people, like, they some of them, not all of them, like, will go above and beyond to do things for you, to throw it in your face, or feel like they're entitled, or want to control you. I don't know for the life of me why people feel like they will go above and beyond to destroy themselves to control you. It's crazy. But anyway, I think we have been there a week, and me and Ty are sitting at the table, and we're eating food, like we're eating dinner, which as I've said in quite a few story times, Ty has been on a schedule since he's been baking. So we eat, like, after he comes from outside, he takes his bath, and we eat dinner. Like, we sit down, we eat dinner together. We kind of have a conversation to find out, like, how's each other's day, what did you do, what was most exciting, etc., etc. Even just talk about some random stuff. So we're sitting at the table, and the doorbell goes off. Because I have the storm door locked, because my mom had a storm door in front of her main door, like in front of her main door. So if you had a house key, the only way you could get in is if the storm door was unlocked. Well, I'm all about locked doors, so the storm door was locked. So you had to, whoever was coming, you had to ring the doorbell, because nobody should be coming over anyway. So the doorbell goes off, and I go look at the door, and it's my brother. So I open the door, and so you come in, and you start walking around all of the rooms in the house. Like, you go in Ty's room, you go in Mom's old room, you go in the bathroom, you're opening cabinets, and then you came into the kitchen, and you're opening the cabinets, and he was like, hey, the stuff down here, like, you want that stuff? And I was like, no, you can take it. Excuse me. Which you could tell, like, it was like a potato, and then in the refrigerator was like an onion. Like, you can tell, because like, if you buy stuff from the store, like a potato and an onion, like, they start like sprouting. You see, like, the sprouts that's been sitting for a while if you haven't used it. So I was like, nah, you can take it. And then it was like it might have been like 4 or 5 canned goods, and he was like, you can take all of the stuff that was here before I got here. Take it. So you get a bag, and you're taking the stuff up. And so you go to the stove, because I cooked just enough for me and Ty, because Ty is my responsibility. That's it. Nobody else is my responsibility. Just Tyler. So you go to the stove, and you look, and he was like, dang, you ain't cook enough for me. Where my plate at? Wherever you left it. You're a grown-ass man. Wherever you left it. So at this point in time, I can also smell the alcohol, because you have a issue with alcohol. You have a issue with abusing alcohol. And once you get to a certain point, you're an angry drunk. So you're talking, like, you're going back and forth, and you're saying all this stuff. And usually, to get a drunk to leave, you're supposed to ignore them. I don't remember quite exactly what he said that kind of set me off, but he was standing at the table. He was standing at the table, and like, as Ty was eating and I was eating, he was standing at the table. He said something, I don't remember quite what it was to set me off, but I stood up. Because one thing you're not going to do, because I've been bullied and SA'd and lived in trauma, you're not going to traumatize my son if I can help it, and you're not going to bully me. That angel is dead. So I stood up. And when I stood up and I'm in your face, it's like, what's up? Because we have fought before numerous of times. Because, yeah. So I don't even remember what was said, but I'm pissed off because at the point in time, I was chewing, and once I stood up and I'm talking to you, like a rice flew out of my mouth and flew in your face. And so you kind of laughed, and I'm with all the ish, all of it. I don't care how big you are than me, baby. I promise you, it ain't gonna be an easy fight. I don't care how short you think I am, or how short you know I am, and how you look at me and you be like, oh, you a little girl. It's not gonna be an easy fight, my love. I promise you, it's not gonna be an easy fight. So you, after whatever was said, as far as us exchanging verbal words or whatever, you leave. And so Ty is like, "Mom, you okay? You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. Like, don't worry about me. I'm good." Right? So he finished eating, like I clean up and we go on about our day. Basically, you go get on the bus. I'm I'm there. At this time, I think I'm working for I'm working for the Fed. I'm working for the feds. No, real talk. I'm working for the feds. Like we have a federal training facility in that area, so I was working there. So I was a contractor. And you still had to have a certain amount of clearance to even do that. So I was working there. Um which at the time, like, I wasn't getting a lot of contract work, so it was kind of frustrating, but it was still some kind of money coming in, right? So the next day, I don't know if we had leftovers or not, or did we go to eat? I don't know. I can't remember, but I do know he would come around. My brother would come around like around the same time. So of course you had to ring the doorbell. So you ring the doorbell and you're standing at the door, like I can see you, and you're open the door, open the door. So you're drunk, and two, you're angry drunk, and three, you want to fight. I'm not fighting. So you can't get in. Even the back door, even if you go through the back, you're able to get to the back porch, but because my mom had a door, but you didn't have a key to that, so you're not able to get in, basically. So it's like open the door, like you're standing there, open the door, open the door, open the door, open the door, and I'm looking at you like this. Go home. At this point in time, like, your schedule is so consistent with you coming to ring the doorbell and start BS that my kid, every time the doorbell rings around this time, is running in his room and closing the door and locking it. Right. So it's absolutely frustrating as a parent where you think like you're having this opportunity to like stack your money because you don't have to pay rent. You just have to pay your utilities, and it's just you and Ty, so you kind of know what the layout is going to be because you're not using that much electricity, you're not using that much gas, you're not using that much water. So at this point in time you should be able to kind of get yourself on task, like to get yourself back on track. But lo and behold, here you come, and you're coming almost every night to the point where my son is now being traumatized. So now I need to make the decision on, do I want to live here or do I want to move? Because I promise you, we haven't even been there a good 2 months, and here you are every night because you feel like it's my responsibility to take care of you. No, it's not. It's not my responsibility to take care of you. Even throughout this whole time, you would, mama spoil the girls, mama spoil the girls. I'm the one who had to work hard, and the whole time you were the spoiled one. You were the spoiled one. My sister, her husband took care of her, and she worked and did her own thing. I worked and did my own thing. Nobody took care of me. It was me doing my stuff on my own. Your cars, multiple cars, from high school up until literally your mid 30s, was in mama's name. Most of the time you wasn't keeping up your car payment. She was paying your car payment. You were staying next door in our grandparents' home rent free. She told us we get a one time get out of jail free card. You had 30 to 45. That didn't stop till mid 30s. Like, bruh. Anyway, so we hadn't been there a good 2 months, and it's like at this point I need to make a decision of do I still want to be here, because at this point it's not beneficial, because my kid is not safe. My kid is running in the room, locking the door when the doorbell rings at a certain time. I refuse to raise my child in trauma. If I could help it, my kid was not going to be raised in trauma. Not saying that certain things didn't happen to Ty and that was literally out of my control, but if I can control it, if I could stop it, it wasn't going to happen. So this particular day, because clearly you have caught on to the fact that we've caught on to your schedule, the time that you're coming to check the house. And nobody's gonna be in my mama's house. You ain't not gonna have no ninja in my mama's house laid up. Mind you, there was no ninja in the house. It was literally just me and Ty. But I'm grown. So even if there was a ninja in there, that ain't your motherfucking business if it was. Go home. Go to your home. Go home. So this one particular day, like, you come and you ring the doorbell and you're drunk and puffed up, ready to fight. And I'm looking at you again through the window, staring at you, and I'm not letting you in. Was my son home? I don't think Ty was home. Ty was out playing. Ty wasn't home. It was just me. So, I'm looking at you. Because at this point in time, like, we've gotten used to your situation. And so Ty doesn't have a key. I have a key. So the storm door is locked at all times. Like, the doors are locked at all times. Because I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I grew up in trauma. So you kind of get a feeling like, I don't know, it's kind of like an alarm goes off. There's like a tingling. There's like a spidey sense that goes off when it's like. So you're standing at the door and you're, open the door, open the door, open the door. Okay. That's how you want to play? That's how you want to play? Because you came to the back to try to get into the back and you couldn't. So you left. I'm thinking you left and you're gone and you're done. But no, you come back with our granduncle. Our granduncle and our grandaunt who lived up the street. I showed you their graves as well, but my granduncle. So you come back with our granduncle, and my granduncle is at the door, and he's like, Angel, open the door, because he said he left his keys on the inside. I said, his keys are not in here. He hasn't been in here. There are no keys in here. And so he was like, my keys in there. She won't let me get my keys. My keys in there. I need to get in there to get my keys. He said, Angel, just let him get his keys. I don't understand why you won't let him get his keys. I said, because his keys are not in here. They're not here. And I was like, there's nothing in here that belongs to this ninja. Nothing is in here that belongs to him. Nothing. Nah, my keys in there, my keys in there. Angel, just let him get his key. I'm gonna be with him. Let him get his keys. So they're at the back door, right? So I open the back door and he walks in and he goes to the refrigerator. And I said, so your keys are in the refrigerator? And my granduncle said, go get your keys. Why are you in the refrigerator? Then you go in the cabinets. My granduncle says again, brother, go get your keys. What are you doing? Why are you in the cabinets? Go get your keys. Oh, ain't nobody gonna be all up in my mama house. This my mama house. This my mama house. I run this. So you walking around and you're going through every room. You go downstairs and you're going through every room. You come back up and you're back in the refrigerator, back through all the cabinets. And so my granduncle, and you open the big deep freezer, and my granduncle says, where are your keys? Get your keys so you can get out of here and leave your sister alone. He said, I run this. I run this. I come in here when I want to. So the next time I come to the door, open the door. And I said, not gonna happen. And I said, the only reason you're in here right now is because granduncle was at this door. Oh yeah, we'll see. We shall. So you walk out. They both walk out the back door. Walk out the back door, and I'll follow out because I want to hear. I'm waiting for where your keys. So you walk out and you go to the truck, and once you get to the truck with my granduncle, and I said, where are your keys? So you in front of my granduncle's face, because now you're hyped. Of course, you're drunk. Now you're hyped. You're hyped up. Oh yeah, I run this. So my granduncle is trying to calm you down because they're used to you being drunk. They're used to this. This is almost an everyday thing. So he was like, boy, calm down. Stop yelling. Calm down. Where did you get your keys? You go into your pocket and you pull out your keys and dangle the keys in front of my granduncle's face. So my granduncle say, you had your keys the whole time? Me. Told you. The keys were never in the house. That was just his way. He used you to get in here, to come look around. I don't know what you're looking for. And I don't know, for whatever reason, where you feel like you can control. Because as again, if there was a ninja in here, my dude, you wouldn't be walking through here. Please believe the caliber of dudes that I date wouldn't even tolerate you. None. At all. I don't even tolerate you. So the caliber dudes that I date wouldn't tolerate you. You wouldn't even be able to walk up in there. At all. So, again, even if there was a man in there, it's my fucking business because I'm grown. Go home. You pulled the keys out and you dangled them in front of my granduncle. My granduncle was like, you down here bothering your sister? You down here, you around here, you not making life hard for her? Leave her alone. Leave her alone. I run this. After you hooped and hollered, no, don't come down here, don't bother your sister no more. You laughed and walked away. My granduncle got in his truck and you drove home. So a couple of minutes later, my grandaunt calls and she was like, hey, I'm checking on you. You okay? You all right? Your granduncle told me what happened. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, he told us, he came in here and told us, like, you had his keys. She was like, well, that's your brother. And I was like, please stop saying that. The title, like, that's an excuse. The longer y'all keep, pacifying the situation, the more he's gonna do it. I just don't understand why you didn't believe me in the first time when I said his keys are not in here. So yeah, that is the story time of the trauma keys and how living and dealing with an alcoholic comes into play. Child. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.